Hi, I'm Steve Parry and I'm here to tell you about British Gas Swim Britain. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event are super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a timing chip. You pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's got to make sure that his timing chip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called boys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the buoy to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the buoy. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That might slow you down a little bit. Maybe you could even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all 4 of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.
Very good afternoon to you from the Wales National Pool here in Swansea, and a warm welcome to Quipu's live coverage of the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals for 2013. So we're 2 and a bit days into this competition. We've been bringing you the very best of action. 7 sessions so far, another 13 to go of top-class swimming, featuring the very best of Welsh swimming talent, as well as the opportunity to see swimmers from all around the UK who've travelled here to Swansea for this fantastic event. We have some 1,700 swims over the week here in Swansea, from clubs all the way from Scotland, various parts of England, and of course throughout Wales, making this Welsh Summer Nationals one of the UK's largest meets of the year. I'm Duncan McKinnell, and I'll be talking you through the action for this afternoon's session. This afternoon is a slightly shorter session than we had this morning. We have the 400 freestyle, 15 to 18 boys, 7 heats of that, followed by the girls, 14 to 18s, and we've got 8 heats of that. So it's 400 freestyle all the way this afternoon. So it should be some excellent swims to keep you entertained. If you want to pass any messages, give us your feedback on how the live streaming is going or any other feedback around the Summer Nationals, then please do tweet us using hashtag BGSNLive. That's hashtag BGSNLive, and we'll read out the best of your messages. Coverage of this event is brought to you by British Gas and Swim Wales. And we're grateful to British Gas and all of Swim Wales commercial partners for their continued support of Welsh swimming. So we are just about to get underway here. The officials just coming onto the pool. And I'm delighted to be joined by Mark Tancock of Swim Wales, Regional Business Manager. You'll have heard Mark on the microphone yesterday when Geraint was partnering him, and I'm delighted to have you back, Mark. Welcome back.
It's good to be here. Obviously, I've been listening in intently this morning to the session, so it's good to be back.
And so we'll be talking with Mark, and Mark will give us his expert eye on these 400 freestylers that we have this afternoon, and he'll keep us right throughout the session. So 400 freestyle, we saw the 1500s over the weekend. Of course, a lot shorter this, but we expect to see a lot of the same swimmers in action this afternoon.
I'm sure we'll see a few of them anyway, and also from yesterday as well. You know, there's a couple of IMs in there as well, but we've got the boys 15 to 18s, as you said, 400 metre freestyle, and it should be a good afternoon of swimming. The crowd should be coming in as well, so it should be a good atmosphere in here.
And we saw some fantastic best times this morning in the heats, in the various events that we had, 50 fly, 200 IM and breaststroke events. So I'm sure we'll be seeing more of the same. The swimmers look to be really up for this meet this week.
I think it's really exciting, you know, and yesterday as well we had lots of PBs in the water as well, especially with some of the young girls in the water. And it's just great to see that swimmers are actually peaking at the event, and I think they're building up to this, and it's great to actually do it on the stage like this.
Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before in coverage that for many this will be the signature meet of the year for a lot of these swimmers. They'll be targeting various times, and let's hope they can pull them off. So it looks like we're almost ready to go in the first heat. It's just going to have the 3 swimmers, and they're at the blocks, just waiting for the referee to call them to the blocks, and then we'll be on our way. First heats, swimmers with entry times 5:06 and 5:07, so I guess they'll be trying to get under the 5 minutes if they can. That would represent, I guess, a decent PB. 3 15-year-olds, as the whistle goes, stepping up. So off we go. We have Richard Healy of Church Dragons in 3, Daniel Picton of Pembrokeshire County in 4, and Simon Short of Aberavon in lane 5.
A couple of local boys in this heat as well in 4 and 5, with Daniel Picton from Pembs County and Simon Short from Aberavon, just down the road from here. So they'll want to do a good job today as well. Also, motivation is a factor in this as well, where it's really important that the swimmers stay focused on actually what they're doing in the water, and that they actually don't get distracted by just having only the 3 swimmers in there.
Yeah, a great start from Simon Short in lane 5. He's already about 4 metres up on the other 2. in the white cap. I'm not sure I've seen Aberravon swimmer in the pool so far in the time I've been here. Are they a relatively small club? Or?
They are. Well, they've got an actually very large learn to swim program. Roughly around about 400 or 500 children in their learn to swim program down in Aberravon. But yeah, it's good to actually see a swimmer at this level. Simon Short, 15 years of age, starting very well as in lane 5.
Yeah, he's certainly setting out his stall here to show us what he can do. And he's now about 7 meters up, getting some nice shots off in there on your screen. So he's pushing on, and there you get some idea of the advantage he's got on lane 4, which is Pembrokeshire's Daniel Picton. Just get the splits at 150. It's 142.9 for Simon. Daniel just coming up to the wall now, so quite a way behind, 149.46, so it's at 6.5 seconds.
I think we'll see Daniel Picton in Pembs County. His coaches are actually just below us here in the commentary booth, and they'll be screaming and shouting, trying to give him advice from poolside.
So as we come towards 200, I guess we'll start to get a feel of the pacing here when we see this next split. See what they've done the second 100 in. Simon coming up to the turn. Clock just going over the 220, 220.73, so that's just over 114.
He's actually opened up quite a bit of lead here now, Simon, on the other competitors, and Richard Healy's fallen a bit behind from Chirk Dragons, but Daniel Picton still going quite well for Pembs County. Actually picked up the pace a bit there as well in the middle section.
Yep, so I guess at this stage when they're well spread out, it's about swimming your own race against your race plan that you brought into the pool. Make sure that you maintain concentration on that. So through the 250 then. No sign of Simon Short. Its lead shrinking. It's about 10 meters up.
It's actually sustaining now his lead, and he's looking quite comfortable there. But still, Daniel Picton still staying within that gap, but not actually making much progress in closing it.
So if he's maintaining pace, we're looking for something like a 3:35 here. I don't think he's going to be quite on that. So the pace just slackening off a bit. But still going nicely. 3:38.84. So about to 1:18 that time. So about 4 seconds slower than his second 100. So he just needs to really push on and extract every last ounce of energy in this last length and a half. Certainly on track to go comfortably under 5 minutes, I would think. 5:06.82 his entry time. So approaching his final turn. 4:17.93. So what's that? Just under 40 seconds. So just wants to really push it as hard as he can down this last length. I'm sure every muscle is screaming at him at the moment.
I'm sure it is. He's keeping momentum, keeping that gap as well between him and Simon Short, between Daniel Picton from Pembs County in second, and Richard Healy from Chirk Dragons has dropped off significantly now, but looks like they're all coming in for the finish.
So Simon Short then will bring this first heat home. 4:55.90, so should be pleased with that. That's 11 seconds inside his entry time. Daniel Picton completes his race, 5:05.18, so just inside for him as well by about a second. Richard Healy's going to be a little bit off, so probably chalk this one down to experience. Dragon, 5:15.14. So he's shot there of Simon as he seeks the support of the lane rope. And there is your 1, 2, 3. Simon Short first, Daniel Picton second, and Richard Healy in third. 8 swimmers in Heat 2. And off we go with Harry Lihaj-Hodder of Merthyr in 1, Stephen Davies of Wrexham in 2, Grant Davis of Lantrysant in 3, Luke Robbins also of Lantrysant in 4, Daniel Jones, City of Cardiff in 5, another Lantrysant swimmer, Adam Musgrove in 6, Swim Swansea's Lewis Quirk in 7, and Zaid Abdul Majid of Bridgend in lane 8.
It's always really good to go up against your own swimming club colleague as well, and you've got two Lantrysant guys in here, and also you've got Lewis Quirk, who's actually a local boy with Swim Swansea and will be swimming on home turf today.
It's the Bridgend boy, Zaid Abdul Majid, who's got the best start on lane 8. 5:04 entry time for him. The entry times range 4:56 up to 5:04, so he's had an excellent start. 3 on the far side, not too far behind him.
Yeah, Harry from Merthyr, Stephen from Wrexham, and Grant Davis from Lantrysant. Very level power of the far side. But as you said, Zaid Abdelmajid from Bridgend progressing well down the bottom of lane 8 in the white cap.
So let's see if he can sustain this. I don't think this one is going to be as wide apart as the first heat. It's looking like we could have quite a good race on here. But Zaid is holding his own here on the near side of the pool, bottom of the screen as you look at it. He's still got a couple of meters in hand at the 150, 141.94, so over a second up, about 1.3 on Stephen Davis second, Grant Davis third. So if you're in an outside lane here and you've got main competition is over on the other side of the pool, how aware will Majid Zaid be on this, of where he is and where the others are?
I think we had a really good conversation yesterday with Geraint, where actually sometimes the swimmers don't even notice over the far side of the pool the competitors coming up until sometimes when you turn, just like Zaid Ademajad was just doing there, you sometimes have a look across and see where your competitors are, and also where he's breathing now as well. Out of the right hand side, he might be able to see them there if he has a quick glance across.
But I guess it's more important to stick to your breathing plan rather than to look, because any distractions from that will slow you down. But certainly at the moment, Zaid is holding this lead pretty nicely. We saw this morning a lot of very good swims out of the outside lanes, and this is another one here. Zaid 2:54.76. He's pacing a little bit faster than the first heat. Halfway was about 2.5 seconds faster than Simon Shortsplit. He did about a 1:12, 1:13 for his second 100. Another of those would take him about 2:31 at the 300. The clock just coming up 3:20-ish, so not going to be too far from 3:31, I don't think, as he comes to the turn. In fact, I think he's going to be pretty much on target for that.
Yeah.
3:31.39. So now 7 seconds faster than the previous heat. Still a good tussle going on for second. Lane 2, Stephen Davis, and moving up in lane 5 is Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones progressing really well from City of Cardiff there, but Stephen Davis keeping with him from Wrexham. Down in lane 7, Lewis Quirk from Swim Swansea has dropped off the pace quite significantly now, but there's a good race on at the top end.
Yep, so it is Zaid Abdul Majid turning for home in the lead, 4:07.97 with 50 to go. His lead is over 2.5 seconds. Daniel Jones now in second from Stephen Davis. So I think it now is a battle for second place with lane 5 in the box seat there.
I think we're in for a bit of an exciting finish here. Lane 2, 3, 4 and 5 all in the battle there. Looks like lane 5, Daniel Jones has just got it at the moment.
Grant Davis coming up strongly in lane 3 though, so keep an eye on him, but there's no stopping Zaid Abdul Majid. He takes it 4:42.14, so should be delighted with that time. 22 seconds inside his entry time. So excellent stuff from the young man from Bridgend. Second place Grant Davis ahead of Daniel Jones. So I think we'll wait for confirmation of that as the final two swimmers come in. But right early on, we're seeing some strong PBs here. Swimmers in the 440s, 4 of them, all entered in high 450s, so good PBs all around there. And there's the summary for you. Zaid Abdul-Majid, Grant Davies and Daniel Jones. 1, 2, 3. So cracking straight on to Heat 3, we have Stephen Waite of Newport in 1, Jacob Was of Warrington in 2, Ryan Beckerleg, Thames County in 3, Connor Green of Novio Siagar in 4, Joshua Hillman of Rotherham Metro in 5, Carl Smith, City of Leeds in 6, Lewis Clare of Llantrisant in 7, and Callum Brophy of Sevenoaks in lane 8.
Yeah, fantastic start in lane 5 from Joshua Hillman from Rotherham. And also I think down in lane 4, I think it is, with Connor Green from Novio Siagar.
Yep, these two look well matched coming down the second length. I think it is. The Welsh boy just got the edge now, Connor Green in lane 4 in the dark blue cap. And he's starting to open that up now to a body length advantage. He's certainly setting off very purposefully.
Yeah, Connor's looking very confident there. He's actually just opened up this gap slightly a bit more on Joshua Hillman from Rotherham.
Yeah, and a 61 first 100 is quite a bit faster than anything we've seen from the 15-year-old. About a body length between Connor and Joshua. These two starting to pull away from lane 3 Ryan Beckerleg and lane 6 Carl Smith from Thames County and Leeds respectively. They're battling for third. Looks like it's the Leeds boy with the advantage there just as they head down length 4. Nice shot of the leader there, Connor Green.
Looking very confident there. He's stretched out the lead a bit further again on his nearest rival. We've had some really good swims from City of Leeds swimmers and Sevenoaks Swimming Club as well. They're just a bit further down the field in this one, but we've had some really good swims from those clubs over the weekend and obviously in this morning session as well.
So 2:11.92 at the halfway mark, so just over a 1:10 split for Connor for his second 100. His advantage is 3.5 seconds or so over Joshua Hillman. Carl Smith now not too far behind Joshua, so the two Yorkshire boys, Rotherham and Leeds, so I'm sure they'll know each other well. And that one, I think, is by no means over yet. If they're looking less and less likely that they're going to catch the leader, Connor Green.
Yeah, Connor looks like he's got this sewed up, but it's a real battle for second and third spot. Well, second spot, I would say.
Well, I guess one of them has to take third spot, unless they tie. You never know, they might do. Connor Green then. So if he can maintain that 1:10, we're looking for something like a 3:23 here. And he's pretty much on cue for that as he turns 3:23.79. So about 7 seconds now faster than Zaid Abdul-Majid from Heat 2. The race for second, still Joshua Hillman with about 1.5 meters advantage.
Just coming slightly back in, you have Ryan Beckerleg from Thames County just coming back in. You never know, maybe could have a battle on for third spot.
He's going to have a very strong last 50 meters if he is to battle for that, but who knows, maybe he can do that. Connor, though, doesn't need to worry about any of them. He is well clear. 4:40 entry time for him. Expect him to come a good few seconds under that. The battle for second is definitely heating up now, though. Carl Smith is putting in a late charge here on Joshua Hillman, and there's only about half a metre between those two now. Connor Green, though, takes it. He comes in 4:35.09. Let's see who gets second. It's going to be on the touch here. Who goes and gets it? Oh, it is Joshua Hillman. He responded to the challenge well there to hang on to second by a tenth. 4:40.97 against 4:41.06, but both of them behind Connor Green. 4:35.09 for the Novosibirsk swimmer.
That was a lovely, exciting end to that race there, right down to the wire. Really good to see.
So 5-second improvement for Connor there. 4:35. The swimmer's on 4:40. So Joshua just a second or so inside his time. Carl Smith rather more so. And there is the scoreboard. As we move on to Heat 4. Again, a full pool here with Andrew Kleinhorn of Bevington going in lane 1, Carl Taylor of Wrexham in 2, Daniel Thomas of Pembs County in 3, William Riley of Newport in 4, Christopher Wall of First in 5, Kyle Stubbs of Chester in 6, Matthew Sullivan, Warrington in 7, and Samuel Withers of Pembs County in 8.
They've all gone off quite well on the first 50 as they make the turn. It just looks like we've got lane 5 with, I think it's Christopher Wall from first, just edging out. But we've also got a battle on down the bottom of lane 8 as well with Callum Brophy from Sevenoaks Swimming Club. As I said before, we've had some really good swims from them, just edging out as well there.
Yeah, this one is looking very close at the moment. There's going to be 3 swimmers at least coming in almost together here. Lanes 4, 5 and 8. William Riley, Christopher Wall, Samuel Withers. The touch going to Samuel on the near side, 102.64. Not quite as fast as Connor Green split from the previous heat. About a second and a bit back on that. Also over on the far side, Andrew Kleinhorn of Bevington going very nicely. So everything to play for as they swim down length 3. And as we come to the 150 mark, looks like we've got a new leader, William Riley in lane 4. Newport swimmer. But still, there's a whole number of swimmers, really pretty much the whole field could still take this one. There's only about 2.5-3 meters separating them all.
Yeah, it's really fantastic to see. And also, as I mentioned before, Callum Brophy down in lane 8 is having a really good swim. And even over in lane 1, where you've got Andrew Kleinhorn from Bevington having a really good swim in the white cap.
3 swimmers coming to the halfway mark pretty much together. Still just lane... Well, no, in fact, Samuel Withers getting the touch there by 200ths from William Riley. Thought it was going to be the other way round, but... what do I know? 2:11.56, so they picked up pace. They're now slightly faster than the previous heat. Connor Green's time by about 3/4 tenths. The fact that so many of them are close, you would expect to just drive them on here.
Yeah, it's a very, very competitive field. It's really, really good to see at this point. Over in lane 1, I think we just have Andrew Kleinhorn just edging out there as he makes the turn for the last 50.
Yep, 2:46.17, so pretty much every turn we've got a different leader at the moment. So very open indeed. Coming down length 5 then. It looks like there's almost 2 races developing now, 4 and 4. Lanes 1, 4, 5 and 8, the leading contenders.
Yeah, the field just opened up a bit slightly here now, and it's really exciting up the top end with lane 1, where you got Andrew Kleinhorn, and lane 8, Samuel Withers from Pembs County as well, battling hard with his coaches right beside him there.
Yep. I'm never sure when the coach waves them on whether it's therapeutic for the coach or whether it actually helps the swimmer, but one way or other it helps to release the tension, I guess. So We're at the business end of this one now, and it does look like the two outside lanes still making the running. So a challenge for our camera team here to try and keep them both in shot as they come down the pool. And we're doing that nicely for you here. And you can see them coming through the turn. Still lane 1 turning in the lead. Andrew Kleinhorn, 3:56.87. 8/10 up now on Samuel Withers. So he needs to just push on now. Is there going to be a late challenge from the centre lanes? Lane 5 looking strong. That is the Scotsman Christopher Wall on first. So we're down to a 3-way race now. And Christopher Wall has timed his attack. Is he going to take it? It's going to be close between him and Andrew Kleinhorn on the far side. I think it's between these two, and it's going to be on the touch. Let's see who gets it. It is Christopher Wall. 4:30.50 from Andrew Kleinhorn, 4:31.03, and Samuel Withers third, 4:31.59. So Christopher Wall just timed that beautifully.
Yeah, fantastic stuff by Christopher. He came back into it in the last 50 as well at the turn to have a really good turn and really stride on. Andrew Kleinhorn just faded back into second with, as you said, Samuel Withers from Pembs County local coming in third spot.
So Christopher just a second and a bit ahead of his entry time. With that fast finish, do you think his coach might be at him that he could have gone a bit faster through the race?
Possibly, but it's all about tactics as well, and I think he's timed it perfectly there.
Okay, we'll give him the credit for his timing. Heat 5. Aaron Pullen of Ealing in 1. Giovanni Di Siena of Peterborough in 2. James Stephen of First in 3. Ross Hill of Chase in 4. Daniel Davies of Pembs County in 5. Finlay Lawless Coombs of City of Leeds in 6. Liam Noonan, Lincoln Vulcans in 7. And Hugh Brown of City of Cardiff in lane 8. So entry times on this one, 4:26 up to 4:30. So expect this to be faster again from anything we've seen. Again, it's shaping up pretty tight.
Yeah,
Ross Hill.
A very good start there by James Stephen from First up in Scotland. And also Ross Hill, as you mentioned, from Chase in the yellow cap, started well in lane 4.
And the third in that leading group, Daniel Davis of Pembs County. So they're going to be the 1, 2, 3 as they go through, led by James Stephen, maybe taking inspiration from his teammate in the previous heat, Christopher Wall. 1:01.10 for him after the 100. Ross Hill second, Daniel Davis third. But, well, they're up in a line again as they come down length 3. And over on the far side, Aaron Pullen of Ealing.
Daniel Davis had a great turn there, and it's really given him that edge. And I think he's up into first now.
Yep. And we said it a few times, but the technical elements of the race so important. Turns, starts, finishes, but especially turns in these longer races, because I guess you do more of them.
Yeah, definitely. They come into fact, and I'm sure the coaches and the swimmers spend a long amount of hours working on that obviously the event, and also throughout the whole year.
And those turning skills has given the Pembs County boy, Daniel Davis, the advantage by about 1.5 meters at the halfway point, 2:07.24. Some 4 seconds faster than Heat 4 at the halfway point, and just starting to spread out a bit now. A couple of meters between first and second, and similar between second and third, with Ross Hill second, James Stephen third behind Daniel Davies. That challenge that we saw from Aaron Pullen maybe fading slightly over in lane 1. So it is looking increasingly like Daniel Davies, who's going to dominate from here on in.
Yeah, he's opened up a much lead. It looks like there's a bit of a battle then developing for second with Ross Hill, and in the third lane, James Stephen from first, developing into a bit of a race there. Never count out lanes 6 and 7 with Finland, Lawless Coombs and Liam Noonan as well from the Lincoln Vulcans.
Yep, so sometimes it's good to just focus on some of these races that are going on behind the leaders, and there's a 3-way battle for 4th place. Aaron Pullen, Finlay Lawless Coombs and Liam Noonan all involved in that, as Daniel Davis goes through 300, 3:13.5 5.7. He has a second and a half on Ross Hill, and again he really pulled away in that turn.
Yeah, he's had a really good couple of turns, and that's given him the momentum to crack on and push on. I'm sure his coaches will be really delighted with that.
Yeah, and it makes it so hard for the swimmers following if they can't match that, because they think they've got a chance as they go into the turn. They come out and he's disappeared from them.
It's never a good sign to see, but as you said before, you've got to concentrate on your own race and make sure that you stay focused and do what you've got to do.
So it is going to be Daniel Davis who brings them home. Nobody's going to touch him now. It looks like it is the chase swimmer Ross Hill holding second at the moment. Coming up with a late charge is Finlay Lawless Coombs, challenging for the top 3 place in this heat. But Daniel Davis, entry time 4:26.95. He's going to take a good few seconds off that. 4:18.94 for him. It is the chase swimmer Ross Hill in second place, and James Stephen holding off the challenge to retain third in 4:26.74.
Yeah, Ross Hill just coming under his entry time there, 4:25, entry time of 4:26. But Daniel Davis, fantastic swim, and as you said, and as we've already mentioned, some really good turns to show how it's actually done.
So just a quiet little smile to himself as he relaxed on the ropes, and there you can see confirmation of the 1, 2, 3. Daniel Davis, Ross Hill, and James Stephen. 2 heats to go for the boys. And so this is Heat 6. Adam Horton of Stourbridge goes in 1. Alex Rosser of Torvane Dolphins in 2. Thomas Hitchin of Hereford in 3. Kyron Wasnage of Swim Swansea in 4. James Ross of Warrington in 5. Nathan Watt of St Thomas in 6. Joe Smith, City of Cardiff in 7. And Stephen Morris of Novio Cigar in 8.
Yeah, James Ross had a really good start from Warrington in the yellow cap in lane 5. He's really gone out like a bullet. He's looking really confident at the moment.
Silver medalist yesterday in the 200 IM. So showing good all-round skills. Now what can he do in this medal distance freestyle? Quite a lot it looks like, as he has about 3 meters advantage coming towards the 100 from Nathan Watt in 6 and Thomas Hitchin in 3. First sub-minute 100 split, 57.84 for James.
He has gone off very, very fast. In lane 6 as well, we have Nathan Watt from St Thomas, and down in lane 4, Kieran Wasnachi from Swim Swansea just dropped off the pace there. But as we said, James Ross from Warrington has gone off like a bullet.
I guess the danger is maybe he has set a pace that he can't sustain, but let's see. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's old enough, I'm sure, 15-year-old, to be able to judge his race, and he obviously is feeling strong. He's had a good meet so far, so no reason to believe he can't keep this going.
He's looking very confident at the moment, and stamina-wise, he would have had a chat with his coaches with what was the best tactical thing to do before the race, and obviously he's opened up a big, big lead here, and it looks like he's going to be, well, progressing that even further.
So coming to the halfway point, let's just check his split here. 2:03, 2:03.02 to be precise, so that's just over a 65. So this is impressive stuff here. He will knock a lot off his 4:23 entry time if he can keep this going.
In lane 6, Nathan Watt from St Thomas as well has actually just pulled maybe a stride in front of the rest of the chasing pack. You got lane 2, Alex Rosser, Thomas Hitchin in lane 3, and Kieran Wasnachi in lane 4 as well, still just chasing.
Yeah, those 3 pretty much all together in the contest for third, but Nathan Watt's probably got about 2-3 meters on them, and none of them can get anywhere close, it looks like, to James Ross in the yellow cap of the Warriors of Warrington.
He's maintained a fantastic speed. I think he's just dropped off slightly now, but he has had a fantastic race so far as we turn for the final 100.
Yeah, so let's see if he has dropped off. If he was on pace, it'd be a 3:08 here. He's It is still a little bit off that, so you're right, he has dropped off a little bit, 3:10.21. So that was a 67 split, but still pacing comfortably inside his entry time, and with a lead of 7.5 seconds over Nathan Watt now. Nathan coming under a bit of pressure from lane 2, Alex Rosser at Torvain.
Yeah, Alex has come back into this race and he's really progressing well over there. Nathan Watt will have to just be a bit wary here. He's actually slowing down quite significantly there, Nathan.
Yep, so maybe just feeling the pressure of maintaining the pace over the 8 lengths of the pool. Let's just check on his advantage as they go into the final 50. 3:52 for Nathan, 3:53.8. So he's still got a second and a half in hand, but James Ross, let's just focus on him as he comes to around 20 metres to go. This has been a solid swim. He showed his intentions from the very start and has dominated pretty much since they left the blocks, and comes in very impressively, 4:15.92. So knocks 8 seconds off his entry time. Nathan Ross just holding on to second by just 7/10, 4:25.25 for him, pretty much dead on his entry time, and Alex Rosser just behind him, 4:25.99.
Very impressive stuff by James Ross there. 3 seconds under Daniel Davis in the previous heat from Penns County. That's a certain statement made.
Yep, good stuff. So we've got a few still in the 15-16 age group in this last heat that have to beat James's 4:15.92 to get into the medals. Go through the full field. We've got Owen Leary of Bridgend in 1, Torvain's Matthew Price in 2, Michael Ross, big brother of James, in 3, the 17-year-old from Warrington. 4 is Alistair Richards, City of Cardiff. 5, Joel Allen of City of Leicester. Jonathan Orchard of Penns County in 6. Moulds Ross Hosking in 7. And completing the field is Maxwell's Arthur Woodcock in lane 8.
Yeah, and we've seen a really good start there by Joel Allen from City of Leicester. Jonathan Orchard, only 15 years of age from Penns County, the youngest swimmer in this heat. And he's looking to have a bit of an educational swim as well against even swimmers even 3 years older than him.
Oh, Michael Ross. So continuing the Ross of Warrington show here, leading the way at the 100. Not as fast as his young brother at the 100 split, but I'm sure he'll be looking to pace it maybe slightly more evenly and go past him in time. He wouldn't, I'm sure, want to see his young brother going faster than him.
His brother came in with a 4:15. That's some time to beat. I'm sure there's a bit of family rivalry there for sure.
Yeah, we heard from Michael yesterday evening on the podium after his victory in the 200 breaststroke. So interesting combination, 200 breast, 400 free. Also silver medalist in the 200 backstroke, so clearly a good all-rounder.
Joel Allen from City of Leicester has done a really good swim in lane 5. He hasn't got a cap on, but so he's very recognisable, and he's done a very good swim. He's keeping up with Michael Ross down in lane 3 from Warrington, and he's had a very good turn there as well, so he's swimming well.
Yep, so he is in second place, just about 1.3 back on the leader Michael Ross, and then it's pretty close for third place. Alistair Richards of Cardiff in lane 4. Jonathan Orchard, the winner, was it yesterday or Saturday? I can't remember. 200 backstroke in lane 6. He's in that mix. But still, it's Michael Ross leading them. 3-way group then. Behind him, about 2-3 metres behind him.
Yeah, it's an exciting little development there with the battle for second spot. Lane 4, we've got Alistair Richards, and then Joel Allen in lane 5, and Jonathan Orchard from Pembs County in lane 6, as I spoke about earlier, the 15-year-old, having a really, really exciting swim here.
So the 15-16s, Joel Allen 16, so they need to beat James Ross's 4:15.92. So keep an eye on that as Michael Ross going through 3:10.61. He's now just 4/10 back on James Ross's split. So these ones behind him are really going to have to push on if they're going to beat James Ross's 4:15.92. Michael Ross doesn't have to worry about that because he's in a different age group, 17, 18s. He just needs to lead this one in, really. And at the moment he's doing that, although he's been caught a bit.
Yeah, it's getting a bit tighter there now. Alistair Richards from City of Cardiff has come back into it, and Joel Allen and Jonathan Orchard still battling for third spot potentially there.
Yep, and a late charge coming in maybe from Alistair Richards, and he is looking pretty dangerous here. Michael Ross will be aware of him. He's breathing on that side. Can he do anything about it, though? As Alistair Richards is just about up with him now. So there's going to be the two of them coming into the final 5 together. It's going to be Alistair Richards. What a last length from him, and he takes the honours. Well, we'll wait for confirmation of that. This scoreboard showing 3:12.74. It certainly didn't do that time. But I look pretty sure that Alistair did take it. But we'll just wait for confirmation of his time. Michael Ross 4:14.41, and then just wait to see who is there. Looks like Jonathan Orchard 4:16.99. That is back on James Ross's time from the previous heat. So we'll just wait for final confirmation. They're still waiting to get a time for Alistair Richards. That time you can see on the screen, 3:12.74. He would be highly impressed with that, and there it is. Well, let's just see that. That shows him as second place behind Michael Ross. I'm surprised at that. How did you see that one?
Well, that was very close. I thought Alistair just nicked that at the end there with a fantastic last 100, but last 50. But yeah, Michael Ross has apparently sneaked out with a 4:14.41.
Well. Alistair Richards second, 4:14.55. Couldn't have been closer though. So anyway, after that excitement, we move on to the girls and the 400 freestyle, first of 8 heats. Laura McBride, swim Conway, goes M1. Rhiann Kivy of swim Swansea in 2. Elaine Jenkins of swim Conway in 3. Molly Anderson of swim Swansea in 4. Jodie Beddoe of Shrewsbury in 5. Brodie Allen Ridge of Abertillery in 6. And Aberystwyth's Carrie O'Rourke in lane 7.
Yeah, just lane 1, 2 and 3. Laura McBride, Rhiann Kivy and Elaine Jenkins just off the pace there, but a really, really strong start in lane 6, I think it is, with Jodie Beddoe. Sorry, yeah, Brodie Allen Ridge from Abertillery.
Yep, the Abertillery girl against the swim Swansea girl, Molly Anderson. 1 and 2 as they approach 100 metres. They've got about a body length advantage on lane 7, Carrie O'Rourke. See who gets the touch at the 100. It's close. Just 1800 separating them. In fact, it's Molly Anderson who did just edge it there. But of course, that doesn't mean a lot at this stage in proceedings. Jodie Beddoe right there with Carrie O'Rourke. And then a good gap to the 3 over on the far side. Who are, well, in your shot now. You can see that they're quite a long way back from these leading 4, with looks like the Swansea girl just moving into the lead now.
Yeah, this looks like it's developed into 2 separate races, even 3 separate races. A 2 front 2, lane 6, where we got Brodie Allen Ridge, and lane 4, Molly Anderson, the local girl from Swim Swansea. Carrie O'Rourke from Aberystwyth, the 14-year-old in lane 8, is a no-show, but it looks like it's developed into 3 separate races here.
Carrie, in fact, going in lane 7, so she is there. She is the one battling with 3rd and 4th. Just in 4th spot at the moment, but still it's the leading 2, Molly and Brodie. Side by side, coming to halfway. Molly, I think, still just with the edge, maybe half a metre in it. 2:23.02. So about 1:14 pacing there, so level pacing on that would be just over the 450 mark, 451, 452.
Yeah, Molly's just stretching out a bit slightly there, looking really confident in her stroke. Brodie Allen-Ridge still keeping with her though, should be an exciting finish.
Yep, so on paper, Molly has a 4.5 second advantage and is starting to stretch out now. That might be how it works itself out. The gap has suddenly increased to 2.5 seconds now. It was less than a second at the 200 mark. So Molly turning the screw, and well, can Brodie respond? I don't think she has to worry about the swimmers behind her, but she's doing her best to hang on to Molly's bootstraps. Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Yeah, Molly's opened up a really good gap there now, and she's made a move and she's going for it now, and she's opened up maybe a length or two gap on Brodie Allen-Ridge from Abertillery. And judging by their seed times, Molly should be able to now progress her swimming and move forward.
So exactly a 1:15 split for that third 100 for Molly, and her advantage now 3 seconds or so, and then a big gap to third place. Now on her own in lane 5, Jodie Beddoe of Shrewsbury. So she's looking assured for third spot in this second heat, and increasingly it's looking like Molly Anderson assured of first spot as she turns for home. 4:15, advantage of 5 seconds now, so that gap is growing with every length.
Yeah, really confident swim from Molly. She's really opened up that gap. If you're interested in any swimming activity further down the field, lane 1, 2 and 3 with Laura McBride, Rhian and Ellen Jenkins from Swim Conway having a bit of a battle of themselves down there.
So Molly Anderson then into the last couple of meters, and she completes her race for 52.25, so should be happy enough with that. 15.5 second improvement on her entry time. Brodie 4:57.84. I'm sure she'll be happy to be under the 5 minutes as well. Another good improvement, 14 seconds. Third place, Jodie Beddoe, 5:06.88. Also inside her entry time by about a second and a half. There's this race coming in on the far side, and that particular one, Elaine Jenkins getting the edge, 5:23.24. All three of them in the 5:23s. So moving on to heat 2, we're missing the swimmer in lane 8 in this one. So 7 competing. Bethan Widden of Aquabears in 1, Emily Jels of Hemel Hempstead in 2, Sadie Milton of Dover Life in 3, Saren Marn of Stratford Sharks in 4, Jasmine Booth of Maxwell in 5, Rebecca Jennard of Harlech in 6, and Lindsay Sword of First in 7.
They've all gone off well there in the first 50. A good turn as well by in lane 3, Sadie Milton from Dover Love, and Saren Mahon as well in lane 4, progressing well.
Yep, so this one starting off pretty close here. And again, we'll just keep an eye on the turns, because it did look like Sadie Milton got the edge in that first turn. See if she can do the same again here. She's going to lead going into it. There she goes, 109.21, 6/10 up, comes up. Well, I think did stretch her lead a little bit in that turn. Not perhaps quite as much as she did in the first turn. 109.21, a wee bit slower than Molly Anderson's 100 split.
Just keep an eye on Rebecca Jennard down in lane 6 from Harlech. She had a good turn, but I think she just dropped off again. And in lane 7, Lindsay Sword from First up in Scotland has just peeked in by taking over there, and I think she's up into third or fourth.
So there's 5 swimmers really in the mix here. Led still, I think, by lane 3, Sadie Milton, going through the 150. She's got half a second in hand over Seren Mon of Stratford. Third, well, in fact, tied for third, Rebecca Jennard and Lindsay Sword at that turn. The 2 on the near side, lane 6 and 7. And not far behind them, lane 2, Emily Jelfs. Still lane 3, though, Seren Aman, as they come to halfway. But Lindsay Sword coming up, and I think Mia just edged into second now.
Yeah, good last 25 there by Lindsay Sword, and into the turn there, and she's really starting to stride out now. I think she's trying to make her move.
So very much, I guess, about a race plan here. And this is developing very nicely for an exciting conclusion. Still, of course, over 3 lengths to go. So they don't want to get into the sprint too early. Just maintain their position as we turn then, and it's lane 3, 3:05.11 for Sadie, 3:05.23 for Lindsay, so the gap now down to about a 10th. And I think maybe Lindsay Sword is easing herself into the lead now, is she? Still pretty close.
Yeah, Lindsay's tactics are coming into play here. She's really progressing well. But Sadie Milton from Dover Life still just edging this, I think, actually, I think it could be Lindsay just nicking this top here when she goes into the turn.
Yep, so the scoreboard gives it to Lindsay, and she certainly looked to have the edge, about 3/10, 3:43.71 with 100 to go. They're not pacing as fast as Molly Anderson now in the previous heat. They're about 5.5 seconds back on that. So I doubt that they'll pick that up in the final 100. So it's very much about a battle in this one between the 2, and then a tight contest for third as well. Swimmers in the centre lanes, 4, 5 and 6, all up there.
Yeah, exciting middle section there, 4, 5 and 6 for third spot. And even maybe lane 2 there as well. We have Emily Jeffs from Helmstead.
But the race at the front is still very much on. Sadie Milton and Lindsay Sword, I think, are going to contest this right to the very end. Looks like lane 3 is coming right back. Sadie Milton, the Dover Life swimmer. I think she has the edge, but it's close as they come 10 metres to go. I think Sadie is the one who's going to take this one. She's got maybe half a metre, maybe a metre over Lindsay Sword, and it is Sadie who takes it. Nudges under the 5 minutes, 4:59.22. Lindsay just over it, 5:00.42, both inside their entry times. And that battle for third went to Rebecca Jennard by 100th of a second. Well, very close there over Jasmine Booth.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Sadie Milton hung on, but Lindsay Sword had a really good middle section, but dropped off the pace, and by a metre, as you said, Sadie Milton just nicking that.
Yep, so the 1, 2, 3 up on your screens just then as we move on to Heat 3. So in this one, we've got another first swimmer. Heather Lees going in lane 1. Wrexham's Laura Green in 2. 3 is Amy McQueen of Swim Swansea. 4, Zena Al-Kelabi of City of Cardiff. 5, Lucy Fairbanks of Shrewsbury. 6 is Gemma Price of Newtown. 7, Jennifer Sharp, City of Sunderland. And in lane 8, Lauren Palmer-Jones of Thanet.
Yeah, very good start in lane 4 with Zena Al-Kelabi from City of Cardiff. But Lucy Fairbanks as well from Shrewsbury with a good start in lane 5.
So the entry times here, 4:59s up to 5:01. So on paper, this should be a pretty tight race. Usually doesn't work out like that. Usually somebody is not quite on their game. Somebody else is right on their game and posts a big PB, and they stretch themselves out.
That's what you like to see, PBs.
Zina Al-Kalabi then leading through the 100, 107.97. That is the fastest split so far in Heat 3. And just behind her, half a second back, Lucy Fairbanks. Over in lane 2, Laura Green of Wrexham has third place, not too far back on the leading 2. And then a group of 4 in a line behind these leading 3. Zina has the advantage, 144.59, now about 1.3 up on Lucy Fairbanks, and just starting to build that now.
Yeah, Zina's starting to just build that lead, as you said, and if you're looking down in lane 2 as well, a decent swim going on with Laura Green from Wrexham, as she sneaks up into third, I think, above lane 8, Laura Palmer-Jones from Thanet.
So the Cardiff girl starting to dominate. Zina turns 2:21.14, so once again the pace is faster than we've seen, so that was around just over 1:13 split for the second 100. So 2 more of them would be 4:46, 4:47. Entry time 4:59, so pacing for a nice improvement here if she can keep it going.
Yeah, Zina really stretching away from the field there. Down in lane 2, as we said, Laura Green, and then you've got Lucy Fairbanks in lane 5 from Shrewsbury going well. There's a good battle developing there for second spot.
Yeah, so Lucy maybe just fading a little bit from her early promise, and she'll need to concentrate on trying to hold second. Laura Green and Amy McQueen starting to be interested in that one, and also Lauren Palmer-Jones on the near side, but they're all quite a long way now back on Zina Al-Kalabi. She's coming to the 300 mark with a lead of about 8 or 9 meters. 3:34.55. So right on cue pretty much on her level pacing, 1:13-ish. So still on track for something under 4:50. Lane 2 is Laura Green, has just made a bit of a move, I think, and trying to make second place hers.
Yeah, I think so. And Amy, well, keeping an eye on Amy McQueen from Swim Swansea as well. She's just a bit further back down in lane 3. But as we said, Zina from City of Cardiff has had a fantastic swim so far.
So just now needs to bring it home, which she's doing. Getting those legs going hard now. When do you really start kicking hard in the 400? Just on the last length, or do you go a bit earlier than that?
I would go slightly a bit earlier, but you know, I think you just got to be careful. But Zina's coming really well there. Great time by Zina, 4:45.94, so well below what she's done in the sea time.
Yep, 13.5 seconds and a nice 1:11 for the final 100. So definitely picked up the pace to finish on then. So that's what you like to see. Laura Green second for 54.72, also a comfortable improvement for her. And third place, Amy McQueen for 56.32, just 100th ahead of Lauren Palmer-Jones in lane 8. So good swimming from the two of them, both inside their entry times as well. But Zina Al-Kalabi there, as you could see, the clear leader, 4:45.94 from Laura Green second, Amy McQueen in third.
Yeah, best time of the heat so far. Obviously only in heat 3, but 4:45, fantastic swim by Zina.
So we're just going through to a medal presentation now.
Yes, Hugh Griffiths making the medal presentations there. I think one of the commentators poolside actually had to guess his surname for a minute there, but Hugh Griffiths, disability officer, making the presentations to the swimmers.
And in fact, you heard Hugh on the live feed this morning. So Joel Allen picked up the bronze medal, the Leicester swimmer. Jonathan Orchard of Pembs County with the silver, and James Ross of Warrington the gold there. Congratulations to the three of them. They will put them in the trophy cabinet as we move to the 17, 18-year-old boys. And it's Torvain's Matthew Price picking up bronze there. He looks pretty pleased with that. In fact, he can hardly keep the grin off his face. Silver medalist is City of Cardiff's Alistair Richards. And we've got a Ross double from the Warrington family, with Michael Ross picking up the gold medal. To add to that from his young brother, 4:14.41. He was in the end faster than his young brother, so he'll be pleased about that as well. And a bit of a smile from him as they all come off. And the one who doesn't look hugely pleased with that was Alistair Richards as they left there.
Yeah, he didn't actually. I was just looking at their facial expressions, but Michael Ross from Warrington left there. Really, really happy with his swim.
Of course, it was a very tight finish between the two of them, just 1400ths between them, and it was a tough one to call who got it, but the electronics giving it to Michael. So we move back to the swimming and heat 4 of the girls 14 to 18 400 freestyle. All 8 swimmers present and correct as they go onto the blocks. So it's Megan Williams swims Swansea in 1. Holly Barnes of Harrow in 2, Abigail Worrell of Novio Sirgar in 3, Zara Bailey of Leek in 4, Kira Golding of Neath in 5, Amelia Baston, City of Cardiff in 6, Jordan Perkins, City of Leeds in 7, and Carla Thornwell of Hereford in lane 8.
Yeah, Carla Thornwell from Hereford has gone off really well down in lane 8 in the yellow cap. Really pushing on over the first 50 and turning into the next one.
So 4:58 entry time for her, 4:53 to 4:58 the range here, and she's certainly set off to prove something here. The other 7 much of a muchness, but all of them about 3 meters back on Carla as they come to the 100. Fastest split so far, 1:07.97 from Zena Al-Calabi in the previous heat. So this is faster, 1:06.97, exactly a second faster for Carla, with just second in that group, 1:09.85. Holly Barnes in lane 2. Megan Williams beside her. And lane 6 also in that mix, Amelia Baston.
Be really interesting to see if Carla can actually sustain this moving forward as well, but she's had a fantastic start. You're looking at Carla, look at the previous race with Zena at 4:45, and Carla's actually swimming in slightly just under that at the moment as they go in for the turn at the top end. It's a 1:43.91 Carla turns at.
So a 2-second advantage over Amelia Baston in second now from Holly Barnes in lane 2 in third. Looks like the lead is being held now to just around a body length between lane 8 and lane 6. Carla Thornwell and Amelia Baston. Hereford against Cardiff. A little bit of border battle there.
Yeah, definitely. I think Amelia's actually just come back into it as well with a really, really good 50 there. It's going to be interesting to see how the turns are.
So going through halfway, 2:22.0 for Carla, 2:23.2 for Amelia. So 1.2 the gap now. So it has shrunk. It was over 2 seconds. And Amelia very interested in this one. So in lane 2 is Holly Barnes of Harrow.
Yeah, Holly's just come back into it as well. She had a really good turn on that last bottom end, and she's come back into it in lane 2 in the white cap.
So keep an eye on her on the top of your screens in 3rd place, but the 2 on the bottom of the screen still with the advantage, and not much between them now, just 1/4 of a second. 3001 and 3003, Carla and Amelia. And as they come down length 6, it's tightening all the time.
I think I mentioned earlier on whether the stamina would stay there. She's actually still just edged in the lead, but I think Amelia's coming right back on her now as they come into the turn.
So the 2 of them are going to be absolutely together here as they turn into the final 100. The touch for the first time goes to Amelia Baston, 3:38.22. This is not quite as fast as the previous heat, about 3.5 seconds back on that, but this was all about the race in the front, and then a 3-way race over on the far side for 3rd. Megan Williams in 1, Holly Barnes in 2, and Zara Bailey in 4. I don't think any of the 3 of them will catch the leaders, but they'll have their own battle in this last length and a half as the leaders come towards the final turn. Let's see who's going to lead them through it. I think it might be lane 6. That is Amelia Baston, the Cardiff swimmer, 1/4 of a second up. 4:15.39 against 4:15.61. But a nice turn from Carla, and she is right there now.
Win for a very last big 25 here between Amelia and Carla. The crowd, actually, you can hear some of the shouting going on in the background. It's a really exciting finish.
Right, Mark, who's your money on here?
I'm going Amelia.
Okay, let's see if you're right. There's still not a lot in it as they come towards the final 5, but I think the Cardiff girl maybe just has the edge. Oh, you're a good man there. Whoa, no, I was sure that Amelia was going to take that, but wrong there. Carla just absolutely nailing a finish there, just to sneak it from Amelia.
Shows how close the touch is as well, doesn't it? How important it is in races like that when it comes right down to the wire. Really good race. And Carla down in lane 8. Well, I got it wrong, but she did a really good job.
Yeah, Carla absolutely nailing a finish there to take it by a 10th. And there's your board up there, not yet scrolled into position order, but we're moving on. Heat 5 then. We have all 8 swimmers in use here. Holly Bell of City of Leicester in 1, Annie Keppel-Palmer of Sevenoaks in 2, Gemma Brown of First in 3, Isabel Davis of Pembs County in 4, Jade Adcock of Hereford in 5, Philippa Roebuck of Chase in 6, Anna Sharp, City of Leicester in 7, and Emily Walsh of Lincoln Vulcans in lane 8.
We've seen some really good swims from Sevenoaks Swimming Club over the last few days and over the weekend. And Annie Keppel-Palmer, she actually swam yesterday as well, and she's had a really good swim in lane 2.
Yep, gold medalist in the 200 IM yesterday, and she certainly set off really well, absolutely electric off the blocks, and that's given her the advantage as they come towards the 100-metre turn. Going nicely in lane 7. Anna Sharp of City of Leicester. She's battling for second with Holly Bell, her teammate, in lane 1. Behind Anna Keppel-Palmer, 1:05.25 for Anna. Again, we're seeing a pick-up in pace progressively with each heat, about 1.5 seconds faster than the previous heat at the 100 mark. 3 swimmers in the centre lanes, just behind the 2 Leicester girls in 4th, 5th and 6th. And that is Isabel Davis in 4, Jade Adcock in 5 and Philippa Roebuck in 6. But still it is the girl from Sevenoaks. 1:41.45 for her. And they've got a nice view of her ploughing down lane 2. There you can see the challenge, and as the camera changes you can see the gap is about 3-4 meters. It's tightening up for second behind Annie, who turns 2:18.34.
She's maintaining that pace. She's got a really good swim going on in lane 7 with Anna Sharp from City of Leicester in that battle for second spot. And also even in the far lane 1, we have Holly Bell from also City of Leicester, both going stronger.
Yep, so it's pretty much a 5-way contest now for second place, but Annie well clear of them. 2:55.32. That's going in the 14-15 age group. Just looking through the remaining heats, and still a lot of swimmers in that age group to come, so this is probably not a medal winning swimmer in this one, but let's see how she goes. Still no respite in that contest for second. Lane 6 and 7, Philippa Roebuck, Anna Sharp battling it out now. We're just behind them. Lane 4, Isabel Davies, but Annie about 5-6 meters up now. 3:32.35, 1:14 pace.
Annie's managing this race very well. Just down in lane 7, as I mentioned, for Anna Sharp, just like looks like she's just getting the edge over her rival on the inside with Philippa Roebuck from Chase.
Yep, so there you see the close-up of Annie with that big 7 on her cap. Gives you the clue where she comes from. And she turns for the final time. 4:08.9. See who gets the touch for second. It's Philippa over Anna by 3/10, both in the 4:13s.
Yeah, very good battle there developing on this last 50.
And with them being side by side, they will be so aware of each other's presence. Annie Keppel-Palmer well clear of them. Coming up strongly in lane 4, Isabel Davies trying to join that battle for second. I think it's probably going to be just too much for her, but Annie Keppel-Palmer, she brings it in 4:44.62. 6-second improvement. So that contest for second was taken by Anna Sharp. Well, let's not prejudge that, because no time up for Philippa Roebuck, so we're waiting for confirmation of that. 4:50.88 Anna Sharp's time. Oh, in fact, it's the other way around. Philippa Roebuck credited now with 4:49.69. And there is confirmation of the result there. Annie Keppel-Palmer 4:44.62. Philippa Roebuck second, and Anna Sharp third. 3 heats to go. In heat 6, Emily Osborne for Leek goes in 1. Lauren Revel of City of Milton Keynes in 2. Natasha Johnson, City of Cardiff in 3. Catherine Locke, also from City of Cardiff, in 4. Fionn Wareham of Bridgend in 5. Emily Crane, City of Leicester, in 6. Harriet Wasnage of Swim Swansea in 7. And Caris Thomas of Pembs County in 8. So strong Welsh contingent against the 2 English swimmers, Lauren Revel and Emily Crane.
Yeah, great start in lane 6 by Emily Crane from City of Leicester. She's really gone off well against a majority Welsh field, obviously, as you mentioned, except for Lauren Revel. Lauren Revel down in from Milton Keynes.
So the Leicester girl leading through the 100, 1:05.80. Just checking on that time, just slightly slower than Annie Keppel-Palmer's time, about half a second. But it's early days. Over in lane 1, Leek's Emily Osborne is going nicely. So keep an eye on her up on the top of your screens. It's hard to tell from that angle, but you can see a bit better now that she's not that far behind Emily Crane. As they come to the 150, you can see there not much between them, less than half a second. 142.42 for Emily, 142.84 well, the other Emily, Crane and Osborne. Emily 1, Emily 2. See who earns the honours of 1 and 2 later on.
It's quite a tight field. Caris Thomas in Pembs County's just dropped off in lane 8 in the black cap, but it is a really tight field.
Yeah, plenty of swimmers could challenge in the second half here. The two Emilys who are going to turn pretty much together here. Osborne in 1, Crane in 6, and the advantage to the Leak girl now, 2:19.25 for Emily Osborne. 2:19.4 I think it was before it disappeared from the scoreboard for Emily Crane. And sitting Emily Osborne now is just pressing on the accelerator button. Pedal.
Gas.
Cooking with gas. British gas.
We didn't purposely drop that in then, did we? But
no, we didn't. Just came naturally. What a team. So lane 6 and lane 1 still very much the contenders here. And I think it might be the Leicester girl, Emily Crane, has just gone back into the lead. Let's just see as we come towards 300. Yeah, I think she's got about half a metre maybe. Well, still, it's close. Let's see as the turn. Oh, never in doubt, 1500s. The gap, Emily Crane 3:32.71, Emily Osborne 3:32.86. So, 100 to go. Let's see who's got the sprint at the end of this. It must be really hard, I think, to put on a strong sprint after a 400.
Yeah, definitely so. I think, keeping an eye on lane 7, I've just been with Harriet and Swim Swansea, the local pool here. But, to actually have the strategy to actually go and do that then is something special.
Yeah, and it's Emily Crane just starting to apply the pressure. She's built her lead now up to 8/10 as they go through the final turn, and she is maybe looking the stronger of the two. The attentions of Emily Osborne on the far side. It's still these two are going to decide it between them, and it's getting tighter again. Emily Osborne is finishing really strongly here as they come in towards the wall. It's going to be once again on the touch, and it does go to Emily Osborne in lane 1. So yet again, absolutely sparkling finish there from the swimmer from Leek, 4:44.28. Emily Crane, 4:44.37, with Harriet Wasnich in third place. Emily Osborne there looking, well, like she's done a job of work, and that's exactly what she's done.
Fantastic swim by Emily Osborne there from Leeks. It's 4:44. It's the same as Annie Keppel-Palmer in the last heat as well, 4:44, and a fantastic swim.
And the summary up on the board there for you as we move on to heat 7. Yeah, just to be precise on that, she was slightly faster than Annie Keppel-Palmer, so that is, in fact I'm wrong on that. She was a 4:44, I think, 4:48 for Emily Osborne. It was an excellent swim nonetheless. Anyway, moving on to heat 7 before I confuse myself anymore. Megan Brownie of Dumfries going in 1, Hannah Saunders of Pembs County in 2, Lucy Emerson, City of Leeds in 3, Jenna Lafferty of First in 4, Emily Clark of Poole in 5, Rachel Heatham Warrington in 6, Ruth Bridgman of Maxwell in 7, and Olivia Handley of Beckenham in lane 8.
I think that was my scribbles causing the confusion there. But in lane 3, Lucy Emerson from City of Leeds has gone off really well in the yellow cap, coming down on the next turn.
So Lucy in the 16 to 18 age group. Still looking for her first appearance on the podium, so maybe this is the time. Of course, one more heat to follow us in after this one, but in fact they're all in the younger age group, so the 16 to 18s will get sorted in this one. So Lucy Emerson looking good here. 103.47 at the 100 was the fastest 100 split we've seen. Jenna Lafferty in the younger age group, the first swimmer, looking for her first appearance on the podium. But as I mentioned, the younger swimmers will dominate, will completely fill the final heat, so she needs to put in a really strong swim here to give them something to worry about.
We see that from Lucy. Lucy is really trying to push on now, showing her maturity as well, actually really pushing on and spreading this field out. Down in lane, there's lane 4 as well with Jenna Lafferty, only 14 years of age, trying to keep up with Lucy, which is some battle at the moment.
So halfway, 2:12.67, clearly the fastest halfway split we've seen. 2:15 for Jenna Lafferty, that's also faster than anything we've seen so far. Third, Emily Clark, 2:17. So these three fairly well spread out, and then a gap to lane 7. Ruth Bridgman, the Maxwell swimmer, in 4th place, along with lane 2, Hannah Saunders, Thames County, but the leading 3 then, Hannah Saunders, Lucy Emerson, Jenna Lafferty and Emily Clark in that order, and fairly well stretched out as they come down length 6.
Yeah, very stretched out field. We've seen a much closer field in some of the previous heats, but this is much stretched out. Emily really pushing strong at the top end with, as you said, Jenna Lafferty and Emily Clark closely following behind. I think if you're looking at Emily Clark from pool, she's trying to get back into it in the black hat, but it's looking like this field is very stretched at the moment.
So 100 to go, about 3 meters the gap. Lucy 3:22, Jenna 3:25, so about 2.8 the gap. See if anybody can close that. That's quite an ask. Jenna Lafferty is sticking well to the task. Certainly Lucy's lead is not increasing now. Might be shrinking slightly, although I'll be surprised if she's caught.
Yeah, Jenna's doing a great job to keep with Lucy here, but we'll see how we go at the turn here now.
So at the turn, Lucy Emerson 3:58.34, Jenna Lafferty 4:01.13, so still over 2 seconds, in fact nearer 3 seconds now, 2.8 the gap, so I'm pretty sure this will be the 1, 2, 3 now. No late surprises, I don't think. And there you get the close-up on the leader, Lucy Emerson. And you can see her lead now, about 3-4 meters. Entry time for Lucy, 4:43. She's going to be well inside that. So another excellent lead swim, and that should be good for a gold medal for Lucy Emerson in the 16 to 18 age group. So well done to her. Jenna Lafferty, 4:36.29. So just make a note of that, because that is the time for the final heat to beat. And Emily Clark, third, 4:38.74. There is Lucy. She's looking pretty calm, just getting her breath back. And there is the summary. Lucy Emerson, Jenna Lafferty and Emily Clark, the 1, 2, 3. So that time, 4:36.29, Jenna Lafferty, the time for this final heat to beat. For some reason they're pulled off the blocks there, so it's just going to be a little delay, I think, here. I'm sure the swimmers will cope with that. Bit off-putting. They thought they were going.
Yeah, it can be. You can look at the officials now. I think they're just trying to restart them again. Now I think they're just waiting for the swimmers from the last heat to get out of the pool, which hasn't happened before, but here we go.
So all 8 swimmers ready to go. And here we go then. Anya Williscroft of Swim Gwyneth in 1, Fionn Davies of Thames County in 2, Tegan Galbraith of Novio Cigar in 3, Seren Harris of City of Cardiff in 4, Ellie Plumley of Torvane Dolphins in 5, Caitlin Hanna of Northampton in 6, Emily Hewitson of Dumfries in 7, and Megan Squire of Cardiff in lane 8.
Yeah, quite a level field at the end of the last 50 as you go into the turn. It looks like in lane 7, who's up first, it's a white cap of Emily Houston from Dumfries, I think it is.
Emily Hewitson, yep. She's from my part of the world, up in Scotland. Dumfries swimmer under head coach Ben Higson, who has done a lot of good things in the southwest of Scotland with the Dumfries programme. And Emily certainly is setting off very well here. Now, the fastest split in the previous heat, 1:03.47, so not quite at that pace. That was, of course, was Lucy Emerson, who's in the older age group. 1:04.78. Reminder the time they got to beat 4:36.29. That was Jenna Lafferty, another Scots girl from the first programme in Falkirk. 4 swimmers in a line, lanes 3, 4, 5 and 6. Tegan Galbraith, Seren Harris, Ellie Plumley and Caitlin Hanna all there behind Emily Hewitson. Also lane 8, Megan Squire not far away.
Just a couple of swimmers dropping off the pace there. Anya Willis-Croft from Swim Gwynedd and Fionn Davis from Penns County. But you've got to be impressed with Emily Houston so far and from Dumfries. A really, really good swim.
So it'll be interesting to see whether she can hold them off. Of course, in lane 7, not the fastest entry time by any means. Seren Harris was, on paper, nearly 5 seconds faster than her. So it may be that the Blue Caps swimmer in lane 4 from City of Cardiff will challenge in the second half. She has just edged herself into second place now, 2:17.08 behind Emily's 2:15.26. So pacing around 1:10 and a bit, 1:10 and a half. So I think it's going to be very close if they maintain that sort of pace against 4:36. So this could get very exciting, not just in the pool, but also against the clock. Still Emily Hewitson leads, but I think her lead is cut. It's less than a second now.
Seren Harris there coming back into it with a really good 50. We'll see what she's like coming back down.
And you can't discount the swimmers in between these two either. Ellie Plumley of Torvane and Caitlin Hanna of Northampton. They are still in the mix. Only a body length back on the leading pair. Emily Hewitson still just about holding the lead, but that increasingly now is coming under pressure from Seren Harris. So the 14-year-old from Dumfries gets the 15-year-old from Cardiff. Let's see who has the touch here. And it's changed lead. Seren Harris, 3:26.80. Remember the time they've got to beat, 4:36.29. So we need a sub 1:09 here from one of these two girls if they're going to get gold. Seren Harris looking the most likely now. She has just bided a time in the first half and is pushing on strongly now in the second half. We'll get an idea from her split at the 3:50 just how fast she's going as she turns for home. 4:01.22, so just 34 and a half there, so maybe on pace to get under that 4:36.29, but she needs to push on. Is there one last push from Emily Hewitson to get close to her? At the moment she's a body length or so back, and a cracking race for third in between those two girls, Ellie Plumley and Caitlin Hanna side by side. But it's Seren Harris in lane 4, the swimmer from the City of Cardiff. Now watch the clock as we go up here. 4:36.29 the time to beat. She's done it by half a second or so. 4:35.67 Seren Harris, so it'll be gold for her. Great swim, really well judged.
If you're talking about strategy, Seren Harris really had the right strategy there. She might have had a word with her coaches before to make sure that they knew what they were doing, but she had a fantastic swim there. Really, really strong in the last 100.
Emily Hewitson in 4:37.96 in second place, and looks like Caitlin Hanna taking third by a quarter of a second over Ellie Plumley. 4:39.26. Of course, in terms of medals, I think it will be Jenna Lafferty taking the silver. Her time 4:36.29. We'll get confirmation of that shortly. And of course, that will be our last piece of action in this session. The medal presentation for this girls 400 freestyle. Of course, we've got the 2 age groups to award. The summary there of that last heat up on the board for you.
Yeah, some really good heats there all the way through from the girls and boys, and a really, really good session.
So walking down the pool there, the Leeds girl looking serious still. I guess at the moment it's the tiredness probably that dominates over any emotions. And she'll be going straight back to her Leeds team to get the feedback. Like any good swimmer, here she comes down the side of the pool.
Quick look at the camera there, but yeah, she'll be going back to possibly have a chat with the coaches and also refuel as well and try and get a bit of energy back and a bit of oxygen in those lungs.
So the announcement from the Tannoy announcer just saying that the medal presentation is coming. I don't think they were able to tell them who the medalists were yet, so we're still waiting for that as well. We're certainly pretty confident that it was Lucy Emerson who will take up the gold in the 16 to 18s and Sarah Harris in the 14-15s, which I think Jenna Lafferty will be silver in that one, but we'll just wait to get confirmation of all of that. We see there the clear, calming water now. Just give me a chance to tell you about this evening's transmission, because we have finals from the heats that were swum this morning, and we'll be back on air just before 5:15. The swimming starts at 5:15, so you've got about an hour and 20 minutes to refuel, draw breath, get a bit of fresh air before you come back and join us, which I know you won't want to miss. Some exciting finals.
I think we're starting to get confirmation of the ladies now over the Tannoy. There's on your screen there some of the Pembrokeshire County squad swimming coaches having a chat, obviously conferring about how their swimmers have done, and there's some of the other swimmers there at the bottom of your screen there as well.
Oh, and is that consolation or celebration there with these two girls? Well, they look happy enough, so hopefully it's celebration. Certainly look pretty animated. And Novio Kimry proudly in the background there, and of course Speedo, one of our sponsors there, and I think that's just the GGS of Kellogg's, another sponsor on the left hand side. As we look in the box, they've still got a bit of work to do, it looks like.
Conferring and working hard as usual.
Scratching their heads there, so that's a bit ominous. And there we go. All is calm. Sevenoaks contingent looks like there. There'll be, well, in fact, again, an animated discussion going on there. Wonder what that's about.
Is that a father and son combo there? I think it looks like, but look like they're having a bit of fun and enjoying their time down here in Swansea in South Wales.
Yeah, I mean, the one piece of feedback I've had in the day and a bit that I've been here now is just around the friendly nature of this event. It's everyone with a smile, everybody from Swansea so welcoming to all the visitors, wherever they've come from.
I think there's a huge amount of hard work which goes on behind the scenes as well, and obviously we've had a couple of shots of the officials there and the amount of work they do, and let's just bear in mind as well, they're all volunteers, so you know, also volunteers have been put in the limelight after the London Olympics, and these officials and the events manager behind the scenes as well, they all work extremely hard to make sure that that atmosphere we talk about, the friendly nature, occurs at events like this.
You can see some of the future events coming up. So Summer National, of course, they're into that at the moment. Dragon Open Water Swim in September for the hardy guys amongst you, if you fancy a go at that. And then the Open Winter Championships just before Christmas, and then followed by the New Year meet to shake off the cobwebs after the celebrations. So lots and lots of activity in Swim Wales. You can see the Welsh contingent. What's that all about? Some game on the iPad there.
Seen a lot of that over the last couple of days. People playing those games on iPads poolside, and I think it's just a way of getting your mind off actually what's going on in the pool as well. If you're a bit nervous about an upcoming race, just play a game, get your mind off it.
Yep, slightly nervous there as they go to the upgrade shop there. Sounds like somebody's going to be spending their parents' money. Watch out. Oh, maybe that's Dad overlooking, saying, hang on, son. Just wait till you press that button. Oh, don't go there. Just don't go there.
That definitely looked like a telling off then.
Okay, looks like we're getting there with preparations for the medalists. There's a few swimmers. I think there's maybe sitting in wait, are they? That's Hugh there. I wonder if he's on duty once again. Hugh Griffiths, my co-commentator this morning, one of the Swim Wales team.
Yeah, Hugh as well also volunteers his time at events like this and works hard to make sure these events are coordinated correctly, and I think everyone on the ground deserves a mention because of the hard work which goes on.
So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. There was just an announcement through the tannoy there. Please bear with us and we'll get these results out just as quickly as we can. So I'm sure they will very much do that. And we'll just keep on air so that we don't miss a thing. Want to see the podium presentations for the swimmers who have worked so hard this afternoon.
Patiently waiting, I think, is the word, well, the couple of words which some swimmers will be going through now, and I think it's an important time for them, and as they wait to hear the results, and obviously the officials are working hard to make sure that we get those results as quick as possible.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure why there should be this delay, because up here it seemed fairly straightforward. Meanwhile, some swimmers off to get a break. Maybe just refuel a bit and back for more exciting action.
I think we've become stars on the old camera there.
This is the desperation shot kicking in here. If you've got nothing better to show than the announcers, you know you're in trouble. But anyway, nice to see you guys. So Duncan McKinnell here, along with Mark Tancock. And
I think we're very privileged to have a view where we're sitting as well of the pool and actually the contest unfolding. It's been fantastic to be here and obviously witness what we've had over the last couple of days, and that's similar to the view we've got where myself and Duncan are sitting, and it really is a fantastic facility, the national pool here in Swansea.
So as we pan up to the turn again, you'll see the boards at the end there, and the other side of those boards is the swim down pool. So that's where the swimmers go after they have completed. But we're on now for our presentation. So bronze medalist awarded there. Just a minute, I'm not absolutely sure who that one is. Was it Emily Hewitson? Maybe that is definitely Jenna Lafferty of first, picking up the silver medal. And Seren Harris of City of Cardiff coming up for the gold medal.
Yeah, fantastic swim by Seren in the last heat there.
Yep, so her time 4:35.67. Entered 4:36.41, so 0.8 of an improvement for her, and a gold medal to boot. So we're going to the 17-18s now, and the bronze medal, Rebecca Hanley of Beckenham. Silver, Ruth Bridgman of Maxwell. And the gold medalist, new record time in fact, earned by Lucy Emerson, 4:33.38. So congratulations to her for not only a gold medal, but a new meet record as well for the girl from the City of Leeds. So congratulations to them.
It's a great experience for them to be on the podium there, and I'm sure they'll want to experience that again, and it gives them an added motivation to come back and do it all over again.
Yep. Those medals are always welcome. They'll, I'm sure, have a pretty good collection of them, but a medal from the Welsh Summer Nationals, it'll definitely be one to treasure. So that concludes our coverage of Session 8 here at the British Gas Swim Wales Summer Nationals. So we'll be back pretty soon now. The swimming starts at 5:15, so in about an hour and 10 minutes time. We'll be back shortly before that to bring you up to date. Meanwhile, you can check up on the results at swimwales.org and catch up with the action today by visiting youtube.com/QuipuTV. And of course, you can tweet us at #BGSNLive to tell us your thoughts and give us feedback. My thanks to Mark Tancock for your company once again this afternoon. And we'll be back again in around an hour's time, and we hope that you'll join us. So from Mark,
thank you very much,
and myself, it's good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Steve Parry, and I'm here to tell you about British Gas Swim Britain. British Gas, they've got a great aim. They want to get more people swimming regularly by 2015. So in order to take part in Swim Britain, you've got a team challenge. There's 4 of you. You've all got to swim 1,000 metres. You do 250 metres each in a relay until you've done the 1,000 metres. Swim Britain is going to help you get fitter and healthier, and they're even going to give you tips along the way. It's all going to accumulate in 10 events in September at venues across the country. Now, logistics of this event are super easy. You're going to get a swimming cap, a t-shirt and a timing chip. You pick them up at the venue on the day. So all you need to think about is the regular stuff. Your swimming goggles and a pair of trunks. You could wear these, or perhaps some of these. You might want 2 towels as well instead of 1. So you'll need 1 towel for poolside and also a towel for when you get changed at the end. Maybe a bit of shampoo as well. And last but not least, make sure you take some water with you. So how does the Swim Britain relay work? Well, you've got to get your teammates. Here's one of mine, me Chris, just happens to be an international swimmer. I'll have some of that. He's going to lead off. Let's go, Chris. Yes. When he's done his 250 metres, he's got to make sure that his timing chip registers. Don't worry, there'll be people there on the day to make sure that that happens. Chris is then going to walk over to his second teammate, who's going to be in the transition area, and he's going to give him a high five. Nice high five. Then Chris is done. He's good to go. He can go have a little bit of a rest. It's going to get very crowded if all of you are waiting at the end of the pool. So we've got a rule. Only the person that's swimming next can be in the transition zone. So Swim Britain's going to be like no event you've ever done before, largely because of these bad boys. They're actually called buoys, and you're going to have to swim around them. When you're swimming down the pool, you've got to keep the buoy to your left-hand side. And when you're swimming back up the pool, you've got to keep it to your right-hand side. Just keep an eye out for them. Big orange things, can't miss them. Stay as tight as you can to the buoy. You've only got to swim 250 metres. There's no point swimming any more than that if you don't have to. Once you've got your team together, make sure you get the opportunity to train together. Set yourself both an individual goal. You know what? Challenge the other guys on your team as well. You might surprise yourself and with some good training, beat the time that you thought you were going to go. What about making some hoodies with your team name on there? You're taking on everyone else in Swim Britain. You've got to get in there with the right frame of mind. Maybe you want to go in some fancy dress. I don't suggest you swim in the fancy dress. That might slow you down a little bit. Maybe you can even come up with your own song, you know. I can see all four of you doing the Gangnam Style. Maybe not. But most of all, make sure there's some cracking banter between you and your teammates, and let's maximise the fun that we're going to have on Swim Britain. Good luck and enjoy.